Ladies and gentlemen, stick around. We've got Ideas by Elliot. Hey, folks, you're listening to Ideas by Elliot. And we're here with Ideas by Elliot. Podcast.
This is the Ideas by Elliot podcast, sponsored by Camera Corner Studios, Yike Salon, Trisha Nell Law, and ReleaseWire. I'm Elliot Christensen, and normally I spend my time working with clients on their internet projects, websites, marketing, email, all the stuff they need to get their business found online. This is my chance to take a break and talk in depth with the most interesting people I know. There are no rules, there's no censor, there are no do-overs. It's raw, unscripted, and never edited. This is episode number 19 with Betsy Malueg. In this episode, we talk about me not getting in shape, entrepreneurs, and self-defense. We also have two great music tracks again from Kurt Gunn. And while that music plays, please run over to iTunes and Stitcher and give a rating and a review of the show. It helps other people find us. He's really good. So this is Kurt Gunn, Kurtgunn, who is amazing. That's amazing music. That was Night is a Villain. And he's right here in Green Bay, and he just had an album release. I know this isn't going to play for most people unless they're listening live. Hi, Don. But Kurt Gunn just had an album release party the other night, so he's got some new music out there, and I don't have it up on my screen. I forgot the name of it already, but check that out. He's pretty amazing. And I'm here with, what's your name again?
Betsy Malueg.
Oh, that's right. Betsy, yeah. So I've known Betsy for, I don't know, a while.
5 minutes?
Well, she's only known me 5 minutes.
Yeah, we just introduced her.
I've known her like, I don't know, 20 years. I don't know, a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite that long, but pretty close, which is mind-numbing. So we had Erin Davison in, and she's been at WFRV for 25
Yeah, 25.
years. Like, that hurts my brain. Like, I don't remember specifically her not being there, but I remember there being a time where she wasn't there, you know? So, like, it just hurts my head.
I don't remember those times.
Well, you know, it's nice to be youthful. You should take up running. Because you'll outgrow the need to run someday.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. So, Betsy, why are you here?
I'm here to talk with you because you're one of the influential people of Green Bay.
Oh, well. How did we come up with that? We really smoked her on that, huh? So, no, like, well, why? Do you have a purpose? Do you have an idea of what you want to accomplish? Do you want to accomplish anything, or you just want to be here?
I just want to be here. I wanted to talk to you because,
Yeah.
you know, you're a great guy to talk to and you have great ideas. And I like people with great ideas. And so I like hanging out with people with great ideas because they come up with great ideas and then I come up with great ideas.
So the whole trick is we called it Ideas by Elliot.
Yeah.
But I interview other people.
Cool.
And so they're the ones that are supposed to have the ideas.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be like your ideas and like I'm here. So that's how it's supposed to work. So if you don't have any ideas, this might be the shortest one we've done.
Hey, that's okay. It's all right.
If you're looking for ideas
It's an evening show.
Ooh, is it after hours?
Not that evening. Elliot After Hours is coming soon.
Oh, ooh, well.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Do you have plans for us?
Maybe.
Oh, boy. All right. So, well, we'll start from the beginning.
Okay.
You have this like crazy looking Herb Blues Total Self Defense LLC shirt on.
Yes.
So tell me about that.
That is what I do in the evenings from 4 to 8 and a lot of times during the day as well. It's a lot of fun with martial arts and women's self-defense and self-defense classes and getting people involved and more confident about what they do and how they do things. It changed my life, so I want to help change other people's lives that way too.
So this is rapidly becoming the women empowerment show.
Yay!
I feel like I have like 2 to 1 female over male. Most of the listeners are male. It kind of blows me away.
Well, that's to be expected, right? But you're right on the balance there.
Is it? Yeah, and it's not intentional. It's just kind of the way it falls in, right? So that's super fascinating to me because I don't, unless you were listening live, were you one of the? I don't know how many. I didn't even look at the numbers to see how many people were listening live, but I expect it to be usually pretty low. It's usually Don and Gina.
Yeah. Well, I know Gina was listening. So there you are. 50% of your live listeners are female.
Excellent.
Nice.
And live in the same home.
Gina lives with Don.
Yes.
When did that
I
happen?
don't know.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, Don, you're okay, but whatever. All right.
So, no, that's a good point, is that women tend to be on the lower end of the listening curve for you, right? So,
Yeah.
And they tend to not show up in a lot of other populations, typically male-dominated. Well,
Yeah.
how do we get women so that they can do more things?
Yeah.
It's encouraging them with...
So you think that's why you think they're held back by themselves?
They do, yeah, totally.
Because you're not one of them.
I am. But I was one of the people that was held back by myself. I mean, if you looked at me 5 years ago, I wasn't able to look myself in the mirror. It wasn't because I was fat. I was fat. But it wasn't because I was fat that I wasn't able to look myself in the mirror. It was because I didn't like who I was, because I wasn't standing up for me, because I didn't respect me. And when I started respecting me and started taking time to do the things I love, do the things that were good for me. Martial arts is really good for me. It helped me talk in public. It helped me get out there and do more things. So now I do tons of stuff that I had never done before. My professional life has exploded. It's awesome.
You never stop.
No, I don't.
And you don't let anybody else stop.
No.
It's not good. That's not a compliment. That's
No,
horrible.
No, it's good. You got to
How many times did you take me running?
5.
Oh, it was that many?
Yeah.
I thought I died after the second one. Because I was going to say like twice.
No, but each time you improved, each time we went a little bit further, each time you got better. That's what you need, is just something to do a little bit
once
better.
around the block was enough. We could have just stopped at that and not done 2.
No.
Oh my God. Like, do you understand what I do?
Yeah, you
Like,
sit on your butt.
Right.
Like most people sit on
Like,
their
this
butt.
is as active as I get,
I know. But
which is awesome.
if you get more active, you'd be amazed at how much more energy you have and how much more you can accomplish.
See, I accomplish a lot.
Yeah.
And I have too much energy. And this is what people hate about me. They don't like it. Too much energy.
But
I'm just
focus
kidding.
your energy.
I'm just kidding.
Focus your energy, because it's lots of fun. You get to choose what you want to focus your energy on.
I believe in that, and we want to get Max back into it and all that. And actually, my sister-in-law, I think, is either going to go there tonight or tomorrow. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
So that was kind of weird. Gina was just talking to her, and I'm like, oh, well, coincidentally.
Oh, she was there last night. That's right.
Yeah.
We were talking to her.
And you, like, I don't know. I hate making these sorts of announcements, but I think you'd love her. Like, she's like you, like that. Like,
go get her kind of thing.
yeah. Well, like once she's really into something, like she's all in.
Okay.
And that's usually good, unless I have to be involved in it. Like, if I don't want to be all in, like, that's, it's intimidating. So I think that's one of those things where I'm, and I think a lot of the women that you're talking about might have some of those same issues. Like they're like, oh, well, I don't even know how to stand, much less throw a punch.
Right.
Right. And so I don't want to put myself through the humiliation of showing that I don't know any of that.
That's the cool part. Well, at least about our studio. So if you look at our membership list, we have about 50% women.
Nice.
So it's actually a lot higher than most of the other studios.
I'm sure, because you work hard at that.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Well, because we want to empower women. We want to get them involved, and we want them more confident in what they do. Because whatever they do makes the community a better place. And when they're happy, then kids are happier and guys are happier, because when women are happy, then guys get
I don't know what she's talking about.
Clueless. Right over my head.
Right. I'm only happy when Don's happy. I'm sure he's not even listening.
And Don's only happy when the woman he lives with is happy. Right?
So Gina?
I guess.
Callbacks.
you like, which blows my mind because you'd think I'd notice.
You would think, yes.
I mean, I don't know if Don lives with me or not. Like, that's kind of weird. So, I also know, because Max was there for a while, that you push for kids too.
Yeah.
So where have you been? Where have you done some like kid involvement things?
Well, we do the Fuel Up to Play 60 event at Bayview Middle School. We just did that. That was awesome. That was
Fuel Up to Play 60?
Yeah, the NFL thing where they
Right.
try and get them to run around for 60 minutes.
Right.
Well, we got to beat the snot out of them for pretty much the entire day. We had the kids coming through.
So whenever that sort of commercial comes on, that's when I pull up my phone and I say pizza.
Pizza?
Well, Pizza Hut or the app.
You sent the
okay.
emoji.
However it is, I hit a button and pizza shows up.
Okay.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I've seen that. Just roll with it. See, she doesn't know me at all.
No. I don't deal with you on a daily basis, so.
Which you're plenty happy about, I'm quite
You're lucky.
certain.
Yeah.
You don't either.
Close enough.
In fact, you try to cut it down to as few days as possible. You're like, can we stack these up?
Let's stack interviews so I only have to see you once this month.
So you talk about kid stuff that we're
Yes.
doing. Sweet Street's coming up, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to be at Shopco Hall. Well,
That one I knew about, so that was a leading question.
Yeah, so
See how good I'm getting at this?
so that's where we're going to be. We're going to be with obstacle course for them there, and they get to learn a little bit of the jiu-jitsu style as well. So it's a pretty cool
But you also
event.
have the kids do demonstrations sometimes, right?
Yep, there's going to be 2 demonstrations. One's Friday night at 6:30 and one Saturday at noon.
And you've done some of that at Farmers Market?
Farmers Market, and where else were we? We've been all over the place. We've been at wellness expos, and I'm trying to think.
So this will be on in November.
Okay.
What we're saying right now. So if you're trying to promote anything,
The second Thursday in
so
November.
think
today.
Thanksgiving.
So, okay, that's
Thanksgiving time. Yeah.
So our next event then would be the Struth's Women's Self-Defense that's coming out. So
Okay.
And that'll be the opening weekend of gun season, which is the 21st. That Saturday is when we're doing a women's self-defense.
Nice.
Yeah.
Appropriate timing.
Yeah. So that's very appropriate timing.
See?
We're getting so good at this. He like had dates and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that sounds right.
That's cool. So hopefully we have already seen the people at Sweet Street.
So, all right. So you said this changed my life, and I want other people to. So,
Yeah.
okay, I really don't know the answer to this. So, which is you're supposed to be careful of, but I'm not an attorney,
Right.
so whatever, sue me. So, like, how did you go from Betsy 1.0 to Betsy 2.0?
I started training again. So originally I started martial arts when I was in college. I needed a credit over at UWGB, and they taught it. And I was like, oh, sweet. Easy way to get a grade and complete my college education, whatever. Well, I got hooked on it, and I loved it. And then, of course, I'm a college kid, so I couldn't afford it. So I traded it for kickboxing. I taught kickboxing so that I could get it. And then after a while, there wasn't enough time in a day, and, I met a boy and that kind of thing. Life went on. And so I eventually stopped the martial arts and took a break from it for a little while. Mm-hmm. Well, in that little while that I took a break from martial arts, my life kind of had its ups and downs, but it was at a point where I had my ACL replaced. I was 90 pounds overweight. I was depressed, and I wanted to make a change. So I got back into martial arts. And when I did, I met a really cool sensei, teacher, instructor, and he got me to look in the mirror. And that was the big change. It was looking in the mirror and saying, okay, what can you do? What can you accomplish? Not what has held you back in the past. Is what looking forward can you do, and what is positive about your life, and what do you want to continue to do? I'm like, well, all right. Well, I like martial arts, so I'm going to stick with that. I like running. I used to love to swim, so I want to get more into all this stuff. So over the last 4 years, I lost 90 pounds. this year I got to complete my first half Ironman. So for those of you that don't know,
Where was that?
That's in Door County. So that's a 1.5 mile swim and 56 miles on a bike and 13-mile run. So for me, that was a huge accomplishment because I've never been able to push myself past that. And now it's just been, that's what martial arts has done for me, is help me push past whatever barrier I have, whether it's jumping off a cliff or this Saturday I got to jump off an airplane.
I'm going to run out of questions because that was on my list.
This is, okay, Segway training. Segway training. Not disappointed, happy.
That was me happy. I digress.
So how'd I get from 1.0 to 2.0?
So, yeah, like what made you do that? Like, okay, so you're saying you're overweight and depressed, but like, what? I'm overweight and depressed. I'm not, I don't know. I do crazy things all the time. So like I don't have like this like snap my fingers and I'm back to the way I was or I'm new. Like how does that happen? Because like you don't get to like hit the reboot button on life. Like,
yeah, you can.
Well,
you can do it anytime you want. It's what you choose, and all it takes is small steps.
Yeah.
Small steps.
So I don't want this to be a pep talk. This is about you.
But it is about me. That's how I did it.
I'm confident in my self-loathing.
So small steps. So one of the things that I wanted to get back into when I was in that crappy stage was running. Because I used to love to run. In high school, I was on the soccer team. I love to run. I like to be out in the country and just run. It was awesome. That's what I really love to do. But being so heavy, I wasn't able to do it. So instead of just going out and trying to run a 5K, which a lot of people do, they're like, hi, I'm 90 pounds. I'm just going to go run a 5K or call it good, right? Mm-hmm. Well, instead of doing that, I started setting small goals for myself. And when I set small goals and accomplished those small goals, then I could get better goals. So at first, I live way out in the country right now. And so I would run for as far as I could. And at first, it was just from one telephone pole to the next, which is not even a 1/10 of a mile. Okay. And so I would do that as much as I could, and then I would do a little bit more, and then I would do a little bit more, and then I'd walk and recover, and then I'd run a little bit more, and then walk and recover. And that's how I did my first 5K, is I ran, I walked, I ran, I walked, I ran, and walked. And eventually I kept going and getting better and getting better. And as I was progressing with the running, I was also progressing with the martial arts and learning the different... So when people think about martial arts, they think about punching and kicking, right?
I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, or the the Karate Kid. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
See, we don't have video, but that was
worth video.
That was Daniel-san right there. She's doing I don't know what they call it, the crane kick or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a whole kick and everything, and she was balancing on like it was insane.
I could probably pull video from the security camera, but
I think we need to do that.
We'll see what
what? That needs to be for our paid listeners.
There you go. We were just discussing that. Patreon.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see.
Anyway.
But in the beginning, that is what it is, so that you can learn the techniques. But as you progress, you get strategies that go with that. So then it starts becoming more brain involved. And then you have to take the brain out of it and let your body do it. And as you do that, you grow and you understand more things. So it's about becoming aware of not only yourself, but everything around you and what's going on and how that can help you improve versus just doing this one thing. And the hardest part about martial arts is walking through the door. But the hardest part once you're in the door is being okay with whatever happens. Because most people are so concerned about what everybody else thinks. It's like, okay, that's fine. But in here, you don't have to worry about that because everybody's trying to learn the same thing. So everybody at one point was trying to figure out how to throw a punch, was trying to figure out how to throw a kick. So you don't have to be concerned about that. Just try and figure out how it fits you. And that's the cool part about our style is that it's what fits you. So some punches are going to work really well for me. Some punches are going to work different for you and different for somebody else, depending on body type, size, flexibility, everything. But it's not about what you can't do, it's about what you can do. Mm-hmm. And once you get into that philosophy and are surrounded by the people that have that attitude, it's amazing how much everybody can grow, because then you take that out of the studio and you take that into whatever else you do, whether it's, helping somebody mow the lawn, or, it can be mundane things, or it can be something great where...
Okay, so keep that thought about who can help me mow the lawn. We're going to take a break.
New sponsor?
To do our sponsor
Who can
spot.
help me mow the lawn? What?
No, that's like the teaser. There's a
Oh, I thought you had like a lawn care sponsor.
No, but that would be sweet.
That would be so perfect.
I am not that good. I'm not that good. You're my sponsor. So,
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, whatever. I always try to leave with you. But
I gotcha.
Unless, I know. I misspoke before. So, yeah. So, next time.
No, that's fine. We can talk about me. Whatever.
Yeah. So we're here in Camcorder Studios, and like always, Nick is here.
Yeah, that's me.
That's him. That's Nick. That's Nick's voice there. And Nick is here running amazing audio video equipment for, I like to say small businesses, but they'll do it for anybody. They'll do it for the big businesses in the area.
Sure.
And they rent stuff out by the hour even, instead of like you don't have to get things for a whole day. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean that's the big idea was some of the equipment we have, being professional grade, broadcast grade cameras and whatnot. It can get a little bit pricey, $300-$400 a day, and mostly that's because it's expensive equipment to purchase.
Right.
But we had an opportunity to open a building, and like I said before, we have some security cameras in here, and it's a controlled environment, so our risk is a little lower.
You didn't have security cameras until I showed up.
You might be right. I'm trying to think when those were installed. But the general idea was, since our risk is a little bit lower on that equipment getting damaged or stolen or whatnot, we can afford to let it go at a little lower rate. So now we do hourly rates on the equipment inside the room. And, you can still get it daily if you need to or take it somewhere, but hourly rates if you're in our building. And it's really nice and affordable.
I want to use the green screen.
You can use the green screen. It's included in the room, right?
So there's a green screen, and so I don't know if people know what a green screen is, but that's what lets you be in Hawaii magically, or be on Mars magically.
Yeah,
Matt Damon was not actually on Mars.
I like
He probably had a green screen.
Wait, he wasn't?
I don't know. I didn't see the movie yet.
We should bring your astrophysicist friend in to discuss whether or not Matt Damon was really
to
there.
debunk the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently the physicists think they did a pretty good job. Anyway.
Good.
So people want to get in touch with you. How should they do that, Nick?
Yeah, the easy way to do it is by email, rentals@cccp.com, or you can call us. You may not get me. We have a phone line with a few people at staff. That number is 920-272-0148. Just giving us an idea of what you want to do, and we'll work with you to see that vision as fully as we can. And as reasonably as we can.
Excellent.
The goal is not to run our customers broke.
Because then you run out of customers.
Right.
Right.
That's the plan.
All right. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah.
I digress. All right. So enough about all the people you want to empower.
We're talking about lawns.
Let's talk back about. I know. That was a misdirected teaser. I got nothing.
I was wondering how we were coming back on that topic.
Well, all right. So my lawn sucks,
Okay.
and I would like someone to give me help with my lawn. So.
Okay, that's great. Great follow-up. I love it.
She said it, and it had nothing to do with what she was talking about, which is amazing. I can derail any conversation. That is my gift. So, tell me what. So, since you've gotten involved with Herb Blue, and okay, so for people that don't know, what is your involvement there?
So I am part owner of the Total Self-Defense Center.
Which you refer to as TSD.
TSD, yes.
Which
Yes.
sounds like a disease.
Well, be careful, because if you rearrange the letters wrong, it sounds bad. So don't do that.
All right.
That was almost
Don't make a comment on my blank stare. No comments on my blank stare. What is she talking about? TSD. Got it. Done.
Great.
Okay, so you are part owner. So
Yes.
how did that happen? So you went from you are And to me, this was like overnight. So I'm like, who is this person that seems a little bit like Betsy, but not really? So you went from being depressed, overweight, and, much like me, to being like a superwoman who wants more superwomen, which actually, now that I say that out loud, we need to discourage this.
Why? No, you want as many superwomen in the world as possible.
I do. I'm kidding. So how does that happen? So you gave the abbreviated version, but like, how did you find Herb Blue, and how did that happen?
Well, I ran into him at another studio here in town because I had gone back to martial arts and I wanted to get my black belt. And so I found a studio that I liked. It was really nice. They have great instructors there, work really well with kids. I wanted to get my son involved too. So that's where we had started out. And I ended up wanting to learn how to spar better so sparring is where you actually engage with a partner and try and hit him and kick him and score. And
which is why I'm at a safe distance. Just so you know. People can't see that, but I am at a safe distance.
You think you are.
Not funny. Not funny. Okay.
So I went back and started training for my black belt, needed help with sparring. And so I asked the instructors there who I could talk to help me with that. And they mentioned Herb Blue. And so I said, okay. And they said, he's from California. It's okay. He's got a lot of experience training. He's got multiple black belts, so he can help you. He's really good at sparring. I said, okay, sure. So I started training with him, and it was just incredible. The way my martial arts got better was incredible. It was at such a fast rate, and I go back to classes and I like tear people apart, and they'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "This is awesome." So I really enjoyed being able to improve myself that way. And in the process, I started learning some of the other styles that he taught. And some of the other styles, the other two that he teaches is full contact stick fighting, which is really, really fun. And it's very empowering for women because you put something in their hand it makes me feel more confident. Like I can take on pretty much anything. You put a stick in my hand.
Well, I think I could too, but how do you practice that? Like who wants to sit there and take a stick beating?
Well, right. So we use control. And instead of hitting the
not
person,
my strong suit.
Instead of hitting the person, we hit stick to stick for the training. But it's funny you should say that. We actually have padded stick sparring, which is a lot of fun. And it's a actual stick that we've put some padding on so that we can really hit each other. We put helmets on for that one. But it's good because then you can see the difference between how you train when you're hitting stick to stick, whether you're doing drills that way, and when somebody's actually trying to swing to hit you. How would you disarm? How would you attack or counter from that as well? So it gives a little different perspective on just swinging the sticks. And I don't know where I was going.
Styles. There's many styles of martial arts. So at the studio, what styles do you guys cover there? I didn't know there were really like multiple styles. To me, like that's all like one thing. So I don't know.
Yeah. To most people, martial arts is just this big thing, and they think of Jackie Chan or the Karate Kid, and
I think about the Matrix when he's going through all the things, and all I remember is there's one called like Drunken Boxing. I don't even remember what the other ones were, but there's in the Matrix, and it could be not real. Turns out some of that was on a green screen.
Really? Huh. Go figure. So the three styles that we teach are Wu Ying Dao, which is called no form way, is what it translates to, and that means that we don't do a lot of dancing. It's more realistic, where you work with an opponent and do sparring to see how attacks and defenses fit you. Then we do the full contact stick fighting, which is modern arnis. So you learn the attacks and the disarms with that. And then we have kind of the next step. After you disarm somebody, now you have them in close quarters and you want to be able to do something with them so that they're not going to strike you. And it's using submission holds and locks. So some of the things that you see in the cage fighting where they're doing the arm bars and
what
headlocks.
Makes you think that
choking.
I watch cage fighting? What about me screams out, I know this guy probably watches cage fighting.
Probably.
Well, most people at least know what it is and understand that.
I did see 80s music videos.
Okay.
So I'm familiar with caging women up and
Different.
is that
Totally
different?
different.
Oh, it's not the same thing. I don't know. I clueless over my head.
The mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
You not familiar?
Well, the blank.
Yes.
The blank,
Yes.
blank
Yes.
I
stare
thought
would
we
say
had
no.
this conversation. I actually used to do play-by-play commentary for a local mixed martial arts thing. I did like 3 shows, and then they realized I didn't know what I was talking about.
Great.
It was a good time.
You know, everybody realizes I don't know what I'm talking about. So this is why I'm unemployable. Again, back to the unemployable.
Well, you also have to make yourself available to be employable.
I'm available. People can give me the money.
Well, there you go. See, you just plugged yourself. There you go.
Okay, so there's was that all the styles, or did I cut you
3
off?
styles, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Did you preface it? There are 3, and then you
Yes.
enumerated the 3, and
Yes.
I didn't understand a word, fixated on the word,
Yeah.
and lost my mind.
Yes.
Okay, that was a recap.
There you are.
So one of the things martial arts can help you with is focus
Yeah.
I'm plenty focused.
and self-discipline.
I'm not focused at all. Self-discipline.
So, how much would it take to get Elliot a handful of classes?
Are we gonna put should we have a Kickstarter campaign for this?
Yes. We'll get a Kickstarter to put Elliot through mixed martial arts or martial arts training. I don't. Okay. Sorry, I'm not the host, but I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Good.
To a real martial artist, is mixed martial arts really martial arts? I mean, I've heard people before, they're just beating on each other, right?
Well, it depends on who you talk to and what you want to talk about. So the mixed martial arts, they've got rules, right? You're not allowed to poke them in the eyes. You're not allowed to strike to the groin. You're not allowed to bite them, that kind of thing. So it's different than how someone would be. So Taekwondo has their own rules, and so does karate, so does kung fu, so does grappling. So everybody has their own rules and own ways to do things. So depending on who you talk to, yeah, some people are going to say, yeah, it's a martial art. Other people are going to say, no way, it's not anywhere near a martial art. So it depends on which philosophy you subscribe to.
Yeah, because I have some friends that compete in like judo and jiu-jitsu competitions down in Chicago, and they look at mixed martial arts and they're like, I never throw a punch in my competitions. Like,
Yeah.
that's a whole different world.
Yeah. And it's different because what do you want to train for? So do you want to train for a competition? That's fine. Then you got to play by their rules. But if you want to train so
Are you
that
trying to train for your total self-defense?
exactly, then you want to be able to, strike to the groin.
So that is a great name,
Yeah, it is.
because that truthfully, like that's what you're going for.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
realistic style so that what you train is what you're going to do.
Nice.
So if I train to hold myself back all the time, then when something happens, I may not go all out.
This is the problem I have.
Right. Yeah.
You hold yourself back.
I'm holding myself back all the time. Like, you would not believe the rage and power that I hold. Yeah, it's amazing.
Explains the theme song.
It's epic. It does. I don't think she's heard the theme song, so that's a wasted joke.
Sorry.
Nobody gets it.
I apologize.
Fell flat on
Not
the
even
crowd.
Don.
Don gets it. So, all right. So aside from martial arts,
Yes, sir.
let's deviate from that. Maybe we'll come back to that. But,
Okay.
What else do you like doing?
I like doing pretty much anything I can.
Cop out answer. Real. Like, what else do you do? So I guess where I'm going with that is, you familiar with the 10,000 hours thing?
No.
Okay, so there's this guy, Malcolm Gladwell. He's an author, well-known thing, and he came up with this theory that, people don't have natural talent. People that are good at anything, they really have spent 10,000 hours doing it.
Okay.
And you only have so many hours in your day, in your life, right? Like, you can't be good at everything. So I don't want to be good at running. So therefore, I try to direct that time to, and I use that as a joke because it's, because we weren't running a few times, and I suck at it. But like, you can't be good at everything. So how do you pick and choose? And so are there other things that you're passionate about that you do, that you are trying to be a master of, other than martial arts or, running crazy Ironman marathons?
Well, my professional life is a registered nurse.
Okay.
So it goes along with the same thing as martial arts, as empowering people, because it's empowering the healthcare provider or empowering the patient to do better for themselves. So just like I encourage you to go for a run, I encourage my
You
patient.
gave up on that, by the way.
I did not. I
You
still
gave
send
up on me.
texts. The responses have stopped, but the texts still keep coming.
Oh. Did I block her? That's weird.
I don't know how that could have happened. Yeah. But it's just encouraging people to learn more and educate more.
So those are really your two things. You
Yeah.
have two passions, and that's what you're kind of all in on, right?
That's what, where I'm all in.
That's plenty. I mean, so if you're going to be good at anything, like 10,000 hours is a lot of time to dedicate. So, like, I suck at this, like this whole like interviewing people and talking thing, right? So if I want to get good at it, I got to put 10,000 hours into that. But then I'm not also doing, not putting time in other stuff.
Right.
So you kind of have to pick and choose. And like the example that he uses in the book is the Beatles. People think, ooh, they're amazing and they came out of nowhere and they're overnight sensation, one-hit wonders. No, it turns out they spent a few years playing every night in horrible bars in Germany where they had beer bottles thrown at them and they very quickly had to figure out how to be entertaining consistently, and they put in their time. And you kind of have to pay your dues.
Yep.
So, to me, like what you did happened very quickly.
Okay.
And so that sort of doesn't compute a little bit. So, like, how do you have enough time in the day to, you became like, to me, when I hear black belt, I'm hearing like, to me, that sounds like really hard to do.
It's not. It's just hard to stick to a goal. And that's what martial arts is more about, is sticking to a goal and achieving that goal. For most people, about 4 years is what it takes to become a black belt. About 4 years.
You could say that about anything, though. So it takes most people 4 years? And how long did it take you? I know you took time off.
Well, yeah, it took me a total of 6 years to get my first one.
Okay.
And then another
So you
3.5 to get the next one.
So you didn't overachieve as much as I thought.
No.
You just, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just you caught me kind of in the middle of it.
Okay.
Is I had started some,
right.
and that they took credit for that to move on. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe outside of, or this could be work related, but like outside of martial arts, because I think like that's your thing. Right?
It
Like,
is.
You're so excited about that.
Yes.
And I want to talk about some of the other things. So maybe there isn't anything, and then I'm screwed. But and it could be that, I guess. But like outside of like being a black belt, like what's something you're the most proud of?
Most proud of.
Is that an insane question?
Yeah, it is an insane question because I'm proud of pretty much everything I do.
Well, then throw some things out there.
Okay. Well, this past weekend, actually, Gabe and I went up to Kurt's Corral and did some horseback riding. And I remembered how much I miss horseback riding. I just love horses because they're such smart and intuitive creatures. And they're huge. They could kill you if they really wanted to because they're big, they're strong. And I don't know. I love the horses and I love the people up there because, again, it's all about being positive, enjoying what you're doing, being in control of what's going on, and being okay with what happens when it goes. So it was really cool to watch my son because he'd never been on a horse before. Well, he'd been on a horse, but that was before he had learned how to ride a bike, and so he didn't balance very well the first time. So this time was basically his first time on a ride, and being able to watch him, and if anybody knows him, he's a little bit of a geek, and so outdoors is kind of different for him. But he did awesome being able to stay on the horse, and then he even trotted with the horse, which is, if anybody has done it for the first time before, is an experience in itself. And it's just awesome to watch people excel and just do so well at things that they're trying for the first time or being new at.
So, in answer to my question about what you're proud of, you're really proud of Gabe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am.
So,
And he started running too.
oh God, this is never going to stop. So, I'm sure I'm going to be running somewhere tonight. I might be running away from a woman with sticks. But
Yeah, there you go.
I might be running. So, all right. So, tell me about your family then.
Okay. So Gabe's 12 and he's in 7th grade, I'm pretty sure. get messed up on what grade he's actually in, but he's in band. So
I don't know. I think he's in first grade.
Yeah, he does the drums.
Yeah.
So he got to be in the marching band, which was very cool. That was cool to see for the homecoming parade. And
Does he have any music?
any music?
Like recorded music?
No, not yet. Sorry.
You could have. You see, you could have won.
Oh, I could have got some burpees out of you. Damn it.
We had a wager.
She is really motivated to see you work out.
So she sent me some Facebook message, and I said, "Sure, bring me some music." Anyway.
All right. Yeah.
So all right. So growing up though, like family, everybody, like where'd you come from? Like what makes what? How did you go from, Betsy College to Betsy 1.0 in my eyes to Betsy 2.0? How did that even happen?
So I grew up down in South Central Wisconsin in a little town called Ixonia, which nobody has probably heard of.
I saw it on a map, so I've heard of it.
Okay.
I did not know that.
So Oconomowoc is right between Milwaukee and Madison, and that's the high school I went to. So right in the middle there. I was on the soccer team, goalkeeper there, go straight A's. Teachers there told me, "Oh, you're not going to be able to go to college." So I said, "Screw you, I'm going to college." So then I came up to Green Bay, and I loved it up here. So I've been up here ever since. And I played on the soccer team up here for a little while. And then when I got done with college, what did I do? Oh, messed around in computers and stuff.
Those were the drug years.
I got to remember, so being who I am, I've always been a very active person. And so in the process, I've had a number of concussions, so my brain doesn't always work in line.
I won't use that to my advantage.
But it's I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. See? And
So you lost
concussions.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll move on. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do another sponsor spot. Hooray.
Okay.
So I found out that Release Wire is back as a sponsor, which is totally kick-ass. So releasewire.com. And what ReleaseWire is I'm actually going to read right from their website because that's, I'm an underachiever. And but they have a service where it's a press release service. So if you are a small business especially and you want to get the word out, they've been around 10 years. I just saw that today where it says, "We are celebrating 10 years of providing businesses with effective and affordable media management solutions by offering major discounts on our press release distribution services." You can get some cheap stuff today. So by the time everybody hears this, the offer might be gone.
Hopefully not.
I don't know. I should have asked first.
I mean, it's still pretty reasonable, though. He gave you an offer code, didn't he?
No, they have a free thing that people can sign up for. And that is see, now you threw me off.
See?
I'm going to blame you.
Go ahead and blame me.
totally my
for
fault.
reminding you there's a URL you're supposed to plug.
I didn't have it up. I wasn't ready.
Did you plug in your laptop today?
I did.
Okay.
I plugged it in first. Is that when I screwed it up last time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it is connect.releasewire.com. I don't know why I can't remember that. I'm doing a very bad job if I don't even remember my own ad.
You couldn't have been too bad because he re-signed.
Well, I don't know if he's actually listened to any.
Release Wire, if you're listening, send us an email or.
No. So I've known Dan forever. I can't believe that he's been doing this 10 years because I knew him when he was doing other stuff. So it's crazy. But they have had 95,000 businesses have used their service, and they're based right here in Green Bay. And I don't think most people know that. And he really isn't expecting to get much business necessarily from this because their business is from all over, but he really wants to support local businesses and local media and podcasting. And I think they're building a podcast studio of some kind. So I don't know. I don't know what's going down there, but connect.releasewire.com, and you can get a free business profile, and that gets syndicated to 35 other websites. So, there's no downside to that. And right now, on their website, they have some special offers. So you can get one on-demand press release and get another one free. And I will have that on the website. Ooh. It says right on that it ends on October 31st. So if you're listening to this now, sorry, but I'm going to put that out. I'll put it on Facebook and everything.
Everyone but Don misses the offer.
If I edit, but I don't edit.
Yeah.
So they'll all hear it.
They'll all hear it.
Otherwise, Betsy's going to say, tomfoolery.
Yeah.
You edited. So sorry about that. But so this is good till October 31st. And so they have a little offer on that, but their prices are very reasonable anyway, and you get a free profile. So there's no downside. If you're a small business, if you are Herb Blues Total Self-Defense, LLC, you should set up a free profile at connect.releasewire.com. And check out their stuff. They have like 8 million Twitter accounts to follow press releases of small businesses that you want to get in contact with. It's amazing. So that is ReleaseWire. And I totally screwed that up. Sorry,
You
Dan.
did all right.
Sorry, Dan.
Come on.
Well, I wanted to mention the anniversary thing, and they had a deal, and I didn't see the
It was worse when your power went out.
the deal. You think that was worse?
Yeah, I
Well, it
do.
just took more time.
And that's what made it worse.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyway, back to Betsy. Let's see. What else you got?
So you said you were going to come back to skydiving.
I did?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, the concussions.
That was me, not you.
Oh.
Would you like a concussion?
Right.
I could give you one.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Well, we're done here. I believe I can submit for a.
You're on contract for another half hour of podcast.
Can I?
Sorry.
Can I get a restraining order online?
Maybe a release wire can help with that.
All right. So you had your geek years. Tell me about that.
My geek years.
You said geek years. So you stopped the whole martial arts thing, and okay, yep, I know you had a kid.
Yeah.
So I get like things happen and like family happens and life is hard and turmoil and all that, right? So
Yeah.
So you love this thing so much, but you stopped. What's up with that?
Well, because I didn't know how much it gave me. I didn't realize how much it had helped me. And so when I stopped it, I was like, big deal, no big deal. And where was I at that time? Oh, I was working for quality assurance for computer programming.
Okay.
Yeah. And I got out of that and got really crazy with that. Totally blew my mind, decided that wasn't what I wanted to do. So I went and actually...
You're not a programmer?
No. No. I understand enough to not hate it. So, yeah, basically.
I also. No, I don't hate it that much, but anyway.
But it's not something I love. It's not something I want to continue to do. And so I had kind of tried to stay in martial arts just a little bit with one of the jobs that I had. I worked at a cardiology office, and they had a cardiac rehab thing, martial arts. So it was kind of try and stay in with it. Mm-hmm. But then I had my kid. And then when I had my kid, I went back to school and got my BSN, so my registered nurse. And then I started working like a mad woman. And I worked nights, so that's kind of how things got away from me because I worked 12-hour shifts. And then I would sleep all day, and then I would get up and do it again. And for those in the nursing field, they know that most of us are scheduled for 312s, but it doesn't end up being 312s. It ends up being like 4 or 5 12s in a week. And so once you get that in your system, and then I started on a tele floor and then went to the ICU. And then when I was in the ICU, then they always want you there. So they're constantly calling and saying, hey, we've got some really sick people. You need to come into work. And so, and being the type of person that I am, I always wanted to help.
Right.
And I always want to, oh, well, then my coworkers are going to have to take on more load. So sure. I would take on more load. And in the end, it just burns you out. It burned me out. And I started taking on more things, hoping that I could make it better. So I started signing up for committees and thinking that I could change the world.
At work.
Yeah, at work. Okay. And all that did was just give me more committee meetings to sit through. So that just took more and more time away from what I needed to do. And so I started playing soccer again, which after a break, you should really not play soccer. Because
see, that's what I'm saying.
Well, because you're not always in shape to do such a thing.
It's exactly the same thing as burpees.
Well, you should moderate, though, and get back into it slowly. So not just jump out there and play.
This speaks moderation. This body is made for moderation.
So
I'm all about moderation.
I blew my ACL, which was kind of tough. And so once I had surgery to recovered from that, then I decided, well, I'm going to get healthier. And that's when my journey started, and a couple of years later is when I got back into the martial arts.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So you still skip skydiving? Do you not want to hear about skydiving? Does it scare you?
So, no, but so it's bucket list, right? So, like, it's one of those things that I want to do, but I don't have very many things like that left. And I'm afraid that if I do them, then I've lost my reason to stick around. So, like, really, like,
but it's about finding more to do, not just.
So,
So why do you want to skydive?
well, I mean, there's the chance that I might not survive it. So I want to have my affairs in order before I do it. So there's that piece of it. I don't yet have my affairs in order. And so like if that's the last thing that I do on this wonderful planet Earth, I want to have all the other stuff kind of done first.
Okay.
All the little things.
So do the little things.
You're not buying that. I do tons of little things.
Well, so I really don't get bucket lists. If you want to do something, why don't you do it? Achieve it. Get that goal. Do that goal.
Yeah. Well, like it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm exaggerating a little bit.
Okay.
I'm just kind of being cagey. Yeah. So tell me about your skydiving experience.
It was incredible. It was the
You didn't go solo though yet, right?
No, I went tandem skydiving.
Yeah.
So
do you have to do that?
the first time?
Yeah.
I believe so. I don't know if you have to or not, but
See?
I don't know if I want to be the one responsible for pulling my own chute the first time because I might get too scared to freak out and forget to pull it or something.
I go all in. I go all in. Whatever I do, I'm all in. So
okay, so when are you signing up?
well, like I said, once I have my affairs in order, that's gonna take a while. I got a lot of affairs going on.
So good. In the meantime, you can jump off a cliff then, right?
I think my mom told me a story about that once. Like, if everybody else jumped off a cliff, would you? And I'd be like, yes, of course I would. Is Betsy right behind me with a stick?
Well, we'll put a harness on you and a rope, too.
No, I would go skydiving before I would jump off a cliff. Because jumping off a cliff, well, maybe I've seen too many movies, but, like, cliffs are not straight. So, like, maybe there's a thing sticking out and I fall onto the thing and die. So, no, I'm not going to jump off any cliffs.
Okay, we had 5-year-olds jump off cliffs and
5-year-olds do all sorts of things. I've heard of 5-year-olds putting Superman capes on and jumping out of windows. I'm not about to do that either.
I've seen
That
too
would
much
be
true
very
TV
cute,
for
though.
surface jumping, honestly. Every time I see cliff jumping on TV, it ends badly.
So it's not cliff jumping, it's rappelling. So you actually tie a rope to a tree and then put a
Rappelling
harness
I would do. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It sounds like Nick and you are fast friends, and I'm not gonna say good riddance, but good riddance. I'm done with you trying to convince me to be someone that I'm not. I'm very comfortable in my self-loathing, like I said. In my shell.
That's what I said. That's what I said, yeah.
In my shell. No,
But that's where most people are. They want to feel safe and they want to stay in their little box, which is all great, But
I'm not like that.
I know. So step out, jump off.
No,
Have fun.
I do that daily, and it gets me into trouble.
You're just in more, not so much physical danger as
Emotional turmoil.
or socially outcast or right. I mean, it's risk. It's just a different kind of risk.
I don't think Betsy knows about all that stuff.
Oh.
We're not going to get into that.
It's been since like episode 3 or 4 since we've really had those depressing conversations. So
I think we allude to them pretty much every single time.
probably.
Tried to avoid it on the last few. I'm trying to improve myself.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So what's your first step?
Having a show and not talking about it every week. Step 1,
What he said.
leave the past behind.
Leave the past behind.
Okay. Step 2.
Remember to remember step 1. I have a problem with leaving things behind. So actually, that's an accomplishment to leave it behind because I am all in. I'm all in on things. which is why when I fail, it sucks. It sucks the life right out of me when I don't do as well as expected, or if I like outright fail. That sucks. So, yeah.
But what do you use those failures for? You should use them as learning opportunities, right?
Oh, I've learned a lot. I have learned a lot. I think I've been encouraged 3 or 4 times this week to write books about that. And nobody makes money selling books. So I'm like, I don't have time to not make money anymore.
That's a problem with today's day and age is people are afraid to fail. They're afraid to fall flat on their face.
No, I'm not afraid of it. I have done it too much. I just need a break. I need a break from failure. I failed... Let's see. What things can one fail at? Yes, I have failed at that. All of those. So yeah, I have actually immense respect for your ability to turn around. But I'm saved by the bell.
Failed at muting his phone.
I failed at muting my phone. Exactly. Anyway, this is off the rails, Betsy, and I blame you. Yeah, I failed at getting in shape, but I failed at keeping the headphones safe. And I have.
But you haven't failed yet because you haven't stopped.
Oh, I stopped. Oh yeah,
motivational speaker here.
I know. Well, that's sort of her job, and I was a little afraid of that. And so, what's next for you? So you've accomplished all these goals. So what's on your bucket list? What's your next step?
So my next step is expanding TSD, is to making it so that it's affordable and available to pretty much everybody that can.
Okay, so now since she made the joke, expanding TSD, that hurts my head. Oh. Okay. Hey, I'm sorry you did that, Betsy. That was on you. So you want to expand TSD? Yes. And so what does that mean? You want to franchise it, or you want to grow what you have? Or what is it? I don't know what that means.
Yes, I want to do both. I want to grow what we have so that we have more great instructors that can help everybody grow in a positive way, and then expand that out as far as we can.
So how do you get new instructors?
Well, they have to be trained.
So you train them there, period. Mm-hmm. So you don't.
Well, everybody that trains, they're not training just to be students. They're training to be teachers.
Okay.
Because everything they learn is going to be carried out to the rest of the world. So we want them to be able to speak their mind, be confident about what they do, and be able to succeed at things. And by doing that in the studio and being confident and comfortable being able to do it there, they can do that anywhere. So some of the students that we have are, younger students, they're kids, but they're able to teach adults because they're confident, because they understand what they're doing. We have adults that are just learning how to become instructors and how to facilitate people to become better instructors. So it's not just about being a student and learning how to do the martial arts. It's about being a teacher and being able to expand everybody and grow the community.
So how much do I get paid for taking these, for engaging in your teacher indoctrination?
You mean what's the monthly membership cost? Is that what you're asking me?
Well, no. So, people don't sign up so that they can become teachers, though, right? They sign up because they want to learn and they want to, have that skill, or they want to just feel safe. Right?
Yeah, we've got monthly memberships for that. But
if so that's not everybody.
No. No.
Okay. I didn't think so, but to me it sounded like you're saying that that's everybody.
That's my goal, is to get everybody to do that.
Okay.
To get everybody on the 4-year program so that they can do it, so that they can do, so we've got a 1-year program, we've got a 4-year program, or you can sign up for your 1 month or 6 months.
So what you do to me, you also do to other people.
Oh, yes.
Okay, good.
On a daily basis.
That makes me feel a little bit better, because I just had this weird feeling like that you had this
fixation on you.
Well, that's a little strong, but this intense need to make me into not me, and I like me.
You can be you. I just want a better version of you.
I'm unimprovable. Oh wow! Bam! Just got nailed. Okay, so. So do you have like a 5-year plan for this, or like how does that work?
Yep, there's a 4-year plan, so there's requirements for your belts
No,
all the way through.
I'm sorry. I knew the 4-year plan for the belts.
Okay.
Like for your business. I'm more interested in business end.
Oh.
I don't care about martial arts. No, I do. And like I said, and Max is very interested and he loves it. And, you know, he's into too many things and it's hard and all that, right? Kids are, I don't even know, like my brother's got stepkids and they're in violin and karate and soccer and everything. I don't even know everything. I think they're in literally everything. I think football, everything. I don't know how people do that. If Max is in one thing, that's too much for me. And maybe that's like because I expect him to be all in on it. I don't know. But
he's not ready to be all in on it. He's ready. He's trying to figure out what he likes and what he wants.
So like when he was in, and I'm digressing, but you know when he was in basketball, like I'm like, okay, well I'll be the basketball coach. I suck at basketball and I suck at coaching, so like that was stupid. But you know.
But it's good because you're a parent and you want to be involved, and that's more important than actually knowing what you're doing when you're coaching. Probably.
So. You know I get that the 4-year thing. You know how like high school is kind of like 4 years and it's pretty rigid. Mm-hmm. This whole black belt thing though is not. So like how are those different? Like you have to pass skill things before you move on. Mm-hmm. And what like percentage wise, how much do people pass fail? Like what's someone like me who is horrible at it. And I'm not going to do it. You're not going to talk me into it. But you know, imagine I was someone that was malleable. Like, how likely are they to go from year 1 to year 2, and from year 2 to year 3? Do you have numbers on that, or
not off the top of my head?
But is it a lot?
About 3% make it to black belt.
Okay, so 3% make it all 4 years, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, and how many make it 3 years?
Well, if we go by our school, we're at like probably 10%.
So that's amazing, actually. So like that there's a huge percentage that drop off and they're close.
Yeah.
So that's weird and frustrating, and I think that's something you should point out to people.
But it's all about that same thing, though. I want to try this. I want to see how it is, but I don't want to commit to it.
Yeah.
And so once you get somebody that understands that the commitment is going to pay off in the end.
Yeah.
So like college. Do you sign up for college and go for 1 year?
Well, actually, in my case, I did.
You're not helping.
I went longer than a year, but So
do you see my point? You go you don't just go for a year. You go for the full 4 years so you can get your degree. And it's the same type of thing. Is you want to make that commitment and say, okay, what am I going to get out of this so that I get it? And it's the 4-year commitment is basically what it is.
Okay. All right. So I kind of want to talk about the business thing real quick.
Okay.
We're almost out of time. That's amazing. See, I spent too much time goofing around.
See?
Sorry. So in 5 years, where do you see the business? Or do you look on that 5, do you have a 5-year plan, which is what I was trying to say before. I'm sorry. Or do you have like a 10-year plan, or do you have a 1-year plan? Like how do you plan a business like that where it seems to be very, I don't know, customer driven, really? Like, I don't know.
It's hard to plan something like that. And so what we've done in the past is not what we're going to be doing in the future. What we're doing in the future is getting people to buy into that 4-year plan, to get them to understand that if they can succeed that full 4 years, then they're going to be there. So our 5-year plan looks more, hopefully, like at least 2 other schools in the Green Bay, Appleton area is what we're looking at, hopefully, and expanding so that we have more opportunity to get to kids. So whether that be in the schools or whether it be them coming to us kind of thing, to get it so that it's not just their effort of coming to us.
So I know there's been a number of martial arts places around the area, and there seems to be kind of a, I don't know, like it seems like a hard business.
It is.
So I don't know. I mean,
it's not one you'll see a female in either. There's not many.
So I'm kind of going down that path. Like, so there's so much there. So like, I don't know what would make you want to do it in the first place. And I hate to say like you're doomed to fail because everybody else seems to have failed, because I don't feel that way. And I mean, you guys are everywhere, and not just you. Also, Sensei Blue, right?
Yeah.
But do you get afraid of that? Like, I mean,
I'm not, because I've trained in the Taekwondo style, and I know what that offers, and I know what we offer. And there's a lot of people that want very, very structured, very, very set guidance from one step to the next step. But
so I have no reservations about the quality of your product, but what's the most important thing in any business?
Sales.
So that was Max, by the way.
Smart kid.
Yeah. So seriously, I mean, you're out everywhere. You are everywhere.
yes.
I'm at the farmer's market. You're at the farmer's market. I'm at the Sweet Street thing. You're at the Sweet Street thing. And I'm there for fun. You're there in a sales capacity. So is that sustainable? Because you're one of the instructors.
Yes.
And Sensei Blue is one of the instructors. You
Yes.
guys can't be out selling. So what do you do about that? How do you so you have some turnover on customers. How do you accomplish that? I mean, those are real things. There are people that, let's say you do everything perfect. If I break my ankle, I'm going to not be in for a while.
Right.
So you're going to have some people that just fall out because of just things like that, or they move away or whatever, right?
Right.
So you can't retain 100% of your customers, so you have to get new blood in.
Yes.
So how do you see that sustaining itself?
Because of the way we train and how we train, it's a safer way for people that have never been exposed to martial arts before to train. And it's also a safe way for people that have trained before but don't want to get the snot beat out of them to be able to train. So when we do our sparring, it's you choose your speed, your targets, and how hard you're going to hit. So that way, if I want to hit hard, I go hit hard with the guys that want to get hit. If I want to learn or if I want to go slower, then I get to choose to do that. And that can be anybody. It's the same thing with the stick fighting. We're not smacking each other with the sticks all the time. We're doing drills going stick to stick.
Okay, so I mean, maybe this is enough, and I could be wrong about that. So when you think about like the restaurant industry, everybody has to eat. Mm-hmm. So you can say, well, I'm going to stay in business because I'm going to be the best restaurant, and that can be an answer because everybody needs to eat, and there's going to always be restaurants of some kind, right? But you're think about the Apple Watch, okay? And you're wearing a watch, so that's weird. But or a Fitbit. But most people, for Apple to sell Apple Watches, they're not competing against other watchmakers. They're competing against people that don't wear watches at all. And I feel like your greatest competition is people who it's not they're going to go somewhere else for their martial arts. They're just not going to do it.
Right.
So you can be the best, but how do you keep that intensity, that interest from outside coming in? How do you get that? How do you keep that up?
Well, and that's part of the reason that we're at the different places, so people can see the demonstrations of the upper belts doing what we do.
So you plan on doing that forever?
The demonstrations?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's the fun part. And we don't have a demo team. Like some places have demo teams where it's only black belts. No, you'll get to see all the styles and all the different belt levels when we do a demonstration. So you see.
I have headphones on. I can't hear you. What'd you say?
I was on one of the demo teams.
Oh, yep. Max was on one of the demo teams. Yeah. So, maybe I don't know how to ask the question, and maybe it doesn't even make any sense. But is that sustainable? Do you think that that's a sustainable thing? Because if you grow your business, mm-hmm. more of your time, and I hear this from entrepreneurs all the time, right? So I love what I do, right? You go into business because you love what you do, but you don't necessarily love. There's always bad parts of business, right? I hate the paperwork or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And so as you grow, there's always more of that. If you have employees, there's the paperwork grows exponentially, right? So then there's only so many hours in the day. So if right now, in order to sustain or grow the business, you guys are out there, I mean, are you going to hire people, or you're going to what do you guys think about that? Do you talk about that? Are you nowhere near that? I have no idea.
We talk about hiring people, but it's not to that point yet. Martial arts is more about building the school. And so, like, Max was on the demo team. Did you get paid for that, Max?
No.
I believe there will be an invoice coming.
Quite vocal about that too. He doesn't even have a mic on, and we
So
heard him.
he didn't do it because he was going to get paid for it. He did it because he wanted to show off his cool skills, right?
Right.
Yeah, and he wanted to help support the school and get other people interested in it.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily something that you have to pay people for. When they're into it,
Right.
their excitement shows.
Okay. So you're relying sort of on customer goodwill and their excitement.
Yep. And our
Okay.
word of mouth is, that's our biggest advertiser right there.
Right. So, like, you're like Apple then,
Okay.
right? No, I mean, so you're kind of instilling like a religion in your customer base, and you're expecting them to kind of. I'm not trying to make a joke out of it like that. I mean, that's the name that comes to mind. Or
Okay.
like, I guess Starbucks is sort of that way, where customers are saying the name, and like there's no TV ads for Starbucks. There's zero, and there's some for Apple, but not many. It's mostly like their customers are promoting it to other people. So that's where you kind of want to be.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so like that's viable and that's good. Not for me, because I'd like you to buy advertising, but it's and I'm just joking about that. But it's interesting that if you're able to do that, and that you're able to do it so far, it's a hard thing, because what do they say, like the 7 rule, like if you piss one person off, they tell 7 people, and
Yeah.
if you do good things, so they might tell 1, you
Right.
know. So I don't know how you to me, like, I don't know, maybe I watched The Karate Kid too many times, but like I see these guys and they're like and they're mean and they're angry, and like I'd be like, you have to be afraid that one of those kids you're gonna like rub the wrong way somehow. And
That's where the self-control and self-discipline come in.
no, but okay. So maybe see, I'm a poor communicator, so maybe it's all on me. But I find like I don't intend to do ill will to people, but I think sometimes things come across wrong, and like I'll even say things that whatever. Sometimes I'm not filtered, and sometimes I do intend to be mean, but usually I intend to just say the facts, or I intend to even give someone a compliment, and sometimes it'll come out wrong. And if it's the case of a customer, that can really be bad. And you don't get to control how other people interpret what you're doing or saying. So the fact that you're able to do that is actually amazing. And I don't know. I mean, maybe you just haven't run into that as much as most people do, and maybe you're doing some like upfront selection of your students. I mean, I don't know how you control that, because there's crazy people out there.
Oh, yeah.
So
Everywhere.
Yeah, right. So how do you keep from getting crazy customers if that's your number one promotion mechanism? That's my last question. and then I'll do the rapid fire, and then we'll be done.
So the great thing about martial arts is most of the people that do it are crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's not, instinct isn't to stay and defend themselves. It's to run away.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's an awesome defense mechanism for 90% of the people out there. But for those that want to learn different ways of, this may happen and I may not be able to run away, so how do I deal with it? And be able to have that confidence to know that, okay, I can deal with pretty much anything that happens to me. That's...
So, I guess what how do you get him to stay on message? So if you send Max out and he's doing a demo, and he's sort of a salesperson.
Yep.
How do you get him to stay on message? He's a brilliant kid, but he's not a paid employee that's gone through training or like business training.
Right.
So how do you get them to stay on message?
Well, what is his message? His
I don't know.
message.
What's your message? What do you
So,
like?
so when I put somebody like Max, what rank did you hit? Did you hit first degree?
What do you mean?
I think you made it to like first degree white belt, right? You got a stripe on your white belt?
No.
No, you're just white belt?
Yeah.
Okay. So even as a white belt, he didn't have a whole lot of training, right?
Okay.
He didn't have huge, sessions where this is how we want you to act out in public. No, he's a good kid. And he naturally takes those good qualities and
Yeah.
displays those.
Okay.
And then we add to that with the martial arts. And so now he becomes more disciplined. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. He's self-controlled, so he's not just picking his nose out on the stage. He's focused on what we're doing.
Okay.
And that sets the example. So that's the sales. It's not, he doesn't have to go up to somebody and shake their hand and try and sell them on the school. It's his performance. It's his focus that sells.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I'm always just fascinated about like the sales process, really. Different businesses are different, and how they're able to accomplish that. So I see Gina has a question. She was mocking my horrible questioning because I wasn't getting what I was saying across. So I suck. So what do you think about the Dalai Lama? I don't know. It was Gina's question.
Great guy. I really don't know what to say about that.
Yeah. So, okay. I don't know what she's saying either.
I think she was derailing you.
Oh, was she trying to screw me up on purpose?
I'm just taking a guess.
Okay. All right. Rapid fire. Favorite football team?
Packers.
Okay. Favorite entree? Like food entree.
Filet mignon.
Good answer.
Is that because you like it?
Oh, she said, screw you, LOL. I was just reading about him. So it was just like a thing. Okay. Favorite dessert?
Pumpkin pie.
That sounds really good right now.
Dinner time.
Favorite TV show?
Marvel. The Daredevil, sorry.
Daredevil was kick-ass.
Yes, definitely.
I should ask people like, I will say iPhone or Android.
Android.
Yes.
I knew the answer, and I knew you would react exactly like that.
I have martial arts on my side.
Oh, okay. All right. So in the rapid fire, Dalai Lama.
What am I supposed to
You said good guy before, I think. Right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so there's your answer, Gina. All right. Favorite current movie? And relatively current.
Relatively current. I'm trying to think of the movies I've seen. What was the new one? Oh, the Maze Runner sequel, whatever that one was.
I have no
forget
idea
the
what
name
that
of
even
it.
is.
The Maze Runner? Do you know
Sure.
that one, Max?
Is that martial arts?
No. It's the Maze Runner and then like Is it Scorch Trials?
Oh, yeah.
The Scorch Trials in this next one. I like that one. That was good. Because I like the movies that are based off of books like Catching Fire and those.
Okay.
So yeah.
See, that's good. I don't think it's boring. Shut up.
For you listeners at home, not live, he is speaking to his wife over the internet.
Your favorite most recent book? These are good and they're fast.
Yeah, but I haven't.
Okay, that's fine. A lot of people don't like. People
don't
don't read.
remember the
People
name.
don't read a lot of
Like
books.
Game of
and-
Thrones is the last book that I read, so that was.
Fair. Favorite singer?
I don't know. I don't listen to a whole lot of music, so. Sorry, my stuff is all
Favorite martial artist?
Bruce Lee.
What? She's one track. You're
A martial
I am
artist other than Bruce Lee.
right. I would have said I don't know who else is there.
Jackie Chan.
Well, yeah, but there's.
I would have given it to Jackie.
So Bruce Terrell, he's the founder of Wing Dao.
I don't even know what she.
There you go.
Was that? I don't
That's
know.
legit.
Or Remy Priestess, he's the founder of Modern Arnis.
Okay, so
There you go. I can at least vouch that those are real names with real citations.
The only one I know is Chuck Norris. And that's only because of the jokes. Because they're amazing.
Yes.
All right. Well, because that would be too easy. See, now I'm also talking to Gino over there.
Yeah, you need to add context.
No, not really.
Okay.
Gina surprised at your answers. That's all. All right. So, and I asked this of everybody, so you might know that it's coming. So this is kind of the last question. So
I should have listened to the podcast.
Oh, that's right. You said you didn't listen.
No, it's okay. You don't really need to.
You didn't listen all the way
It's
through.
all right.
No. It's not. It's nothing. It's nothing. I don't know. I want to know what she thinks I'm going to ask. So if I ever have you back, notice I said if this time. So when I have you back, who would you like to? So if you come back, you'll co-host, and who would we like to interview?
I don't know.
Please say Oprah.
We did that one last week.
No, actually, somebody you should talk to is Nate Wallenfang. Have you talked to him at all?
I recognize that name. So why should I know that?
So he has a nonprofit called Titletown Select Baseball,
Oh, maybe that's why.
and they're doing some great things in Titletown. So if I come back with anybody, you should come back and talk with him a little bit.
Okay. Awesome. So that's all I got for you. You have
Cool.
anything else you want to say? So where can people find you?
We're out on Packerland Drive, just north of the post office.
Well, where can people find you online?
Oh, herblueTSD.com.
This isn't about the real world. No, where can they find you in real life?
In real life, we're at 2737 North Packerland Drive.
Okay.
But you can, if you're interested, we're starting some Skype classes. So if you're too lazy to get off your butt and come in.
Skype Kwando.
So
huh?
so this is what she closes with. We could have talked about that forever.
We've got 30 minutes of material right now.
Well, I want you to have me back, right?
Wow.
So you got to leave a teaser.
I got totally smoked there. So this is also from Kurt Gunn, and this track is called Everything That Goes Around.
Come a little closer if you please. Come inside this moment with me. We can find the resolution. If you want it, this is where it will be. Open up your mind to these things. Come inside the moment they bring. We can find the revolution. If you want it, this is where it begins.
Don't forget to run over to iTunes and Stitcher and give a rating and review of the show. It helps other people find us.
Looking at the pictures you found, trying to keep your feet